Alright, this one's gonna make you question your morality.
I am the end and the beginning. I am the hand of madness.
Watching Finn turn into a villain really scared the crap out of me. It made me ask myself very uncomfortable questions. Am I really a good person? Or am I just lucky enough to live under a set of circumstances that make me look good? Would I become evil if I lived under slightly different circumstances? Would you? Adventure Time explored these questions with the arc of Farmworld Finn in Season 5 and Season 7. They took that saying, "The road to hell is paved with good intentions," and just ran with it. The scariest part is that Finn didn't actually want to be evil. He was trying to be good, but his attempts to achieve goodness ended up unleashing evil instead. So why? When? And how does good turn into evil? Finn's evil turn starts when Billy asks Finn and Jake to help him snatch all the gems from the Crown of Power in order to activate the Enchiridion. Finn and Jake think they're helping Billy save all life from the Lich, but the guy they're talking to is not Billy. It's the Lich wearing Billy's body. By the time they realize they've been tricked, it's too late. The Lich has activated the Enchiridion, built a portal to another dimension, and walked through it. They chase after him, they track him to Prismo's cube, but by the time they get there, the Lich has already made his wish. He wished for all of you to subscribe. Okay, probably not. He actually wished for the extinction of all life in the universe. It's terrible, but Finn has a bright idea that will fix everything.
I wish the Lich never even ever existed.
That's a pretty big wish. Without the Lich, the entire fabric of reality is altered very drastically. Everything in the world affects everything else. Even the smallest things can have a massive impact. In 1914, a driver took the wrong turn down a street in Sarajevo, and 20 million people died. There was also this one time when 40 million people died because an Austrian painter got rejected from art school. And those are just the relatively minor events. Deleting a figure like the Lich from the timeline of Ooh is like deleting Jesus or Genghis Khan or the Prophet Muhammad from our timeline. It changes the trajectory of every single thing.
Wishing an event to be changes elements before and after it. Memories will be destroyed, babies will not be born, potential worlds could be evaporated.
On top of all the unimaginable changes to the timeline, Prismo left out the fact that his wishes always have an ironic twist. Unless you're very specific, things can get hairy.
Say your wishes. I wish for a back rub. Who's gonna give it to you? A dirty man? A bear?
But Finn doesn't know this. He just wishes the Lich out of existence and is instantly transported to this new Lichless reality. Jake stays with Prismo. In a world where the Lich never existed, Finn is a farm boy. The Mushroom War never happened, humans never mutated, and there's no magic. Jake is not a stretchy talking dog, he's just a regular dumb dog that eats his own poop. There are also no monsters. Not the big scary kind anyway, just the small and, well, even scarier kind. Humans.
Got it?
Dad?
I push you, you fall down.
Finn and his family live in territory controlled by the Big Destiny and his gang. In order to stop the gang from hurting his father, Finn's mother tells him to go sell the family mule so they can give the money to the gang. But on the way to the market, the mule, Bartram, climbs up a tree, and when Finn goes after it, he trips and falls into a cave. He finds the mutagenic bomb, with Simon Petrikov trapped beneath it, and Marceline guarding it.
Jake, look! Golden crown! Unbelievable! We can sell it and keep Bartram!
Sounds like a great plan, but it's not his crown to sell.
I am 1,000 years old and this is my crown!
Marceline explains to Finn how the Lich got deleted from history. 1,000 years ago, Simon Petrikov used his mastery of ice magic to freeze the mushroom bomb just inches from the ground. The bomb never went off, so the Lich didn't spawn into existence. But Simon got trapped under the weight of the bomb and couldn't wiggle his way out. He died there. Finn doesn't believe this story.
None of that is true. His magic is fake.
He takes the ice crown against Marceline's protests. If anybody else did it, we would call it robbery, but because Finn is a good guy and we like him, let's just say he took it. He takes the crown and takes it to the market, but before he can find a buyer, Big Destiny's gang takes it from him. They also take his mule.
Trammy, take mule back to crib for Dinden.
In this world, there's no justice. Might makes right. The same thing that he did to Marceline gets done to him. And Finn can't stand it. He's had enough and he's gonna yell at somebody about it.
My name is Finn Mertens, and tell Big D I'm coming for my stuff.
But before he sets off on the mission to repossess the crown he stole from Marceline, Marceline makes one request.
You must promise to return the crown to its hide hole.
Finn goes to Big Destiny's lair, but without the help of magic, Finn is a pathetic fighter. He gets beaten into the dirt. After beating him, Big Destiny gives back the crown. Even Finn is surprised by this. Big D hasn't actually grown a conscience, he's just asserting dominance.
That is your final possession. The last thing you will ever own.
Big Destiny tells Finn to look out of the window, and the whole town is on fire.
That's what happens when you mess with Big D. You get crushed. Your family get crushed.
Marceline tries to get Finn to return the crown like he promised, but now is not the time. Finn ignores her, saving his family is more important. He rushes home and finds them trapped. His father, his mother, and his little brother are all trapped in their burning house. There's nothing Finn can do except watch helplessly and listen to Big Destiny mocking him. There is nothing else to do. He touches the crown and hopefully asks Marceline if it really is magical. She tells him yes. She says it's powerful and dangerous. He believes her on the count of the crown being magical and powerful, but refuses to believe her on the count of that magic being dangerous. Makes perfect sense, right?
You lost your mind in a cave.
Finn puts the crown on his head, his eyes turn blue, and his face gets ugly. He is the Ice King now.
I can hear the crown's promise of power invading my brain.
Finn freezes the fire and saves his family. Then he freezes the Destiny gang. One gang member escapes and Finn goes berserk, shooting ice bolts in every direction. Marceline begs him to be careful, but Finn doesn't listen. He keeps shooting ice bolts. One of these bolts cracks the ice shell containing the mushroom bomb, and it goes off. The horrors that have been held at bay for 1,000 years are finally unleashed. In the midst of all this, Finn grows a conscience and realizes what he's become. He sends his family away. Then he frees the Destiny gang members that he had frozen up, but that is momentary. He changes his mind and tries freezing the Destiny gang again. The crown has taken over. Finn has turned evil.
The voices, they tell me to freeze the world.
Get off of me, weirdo.
I am the end and the beginning. I am the hand of madness.
Thanks to Finn's actions, the spirit of the Lich is released. The Lich possesses the Jake in that wish-altered reality. Finn is out of his depth. He can't control the chaos he's unleashed. Regular Jake, who has been watching the whole crap show from Prismo's cube the entire time, finally intervenes and makes his wish. He wishes to change the Lich's wish.
I wish for the extinction of all life, for Finn and Jake to go back home to Ooh. Huh? No, wait! That's not what I wish for!
Finn is transported out of his wish-altered reality and back into the original reality he shared with Jake. He also has no memory of what he just did. Everything's as perfect as it was before. Disaster averted. Or is it? When we skip forward to season 7, we discover that the answer is no. But how? Well, when Finn made his wish, he was shipped off to his wish-altered reality. But when Jake wished for him to go back home, Finn returned. But the Finn in the wish-altered reality kept existing. Jake's counter-wish didn't make Ice Finn extinct. It just split reality into two parallel dimensions. One version of Finn was in Ooh doing typical hero stuff, but the other version kept on existing in the wish-altered reality, doing evil Ice King stuff. If the parallel realities didn't interact, it wouldn't be a problem. But Ice Finn has teamed up with the Lich. They're using their reality's Enchiridion to build a portal to all other realities. And he's also freezing everybody, including his family. His villainy doesn't bother him anymore. He actually enjoys it now.
I love it! I feel fresh!
Prismo sends regular Finn and Jake to stop Ice King Finn, because he was their screw-up. Prismo gives them the Mate, a giant magic cannon that looks like a sharpened carrot. They're supposed to stop Ice Finn, then steal the Enchiridion and take it back with them.
The Maid will handle all Class A interdimensional bung-ups if you follow these simple steps.
Prismo's instructions were to take care of Ice Finn, but regular Finn can't bring himself to do it.
Prismo said take care of him.
Yeah, that means make him feel better.
Are you being stupid on purpose?
Yeah, but dude, that is me.
Okay, I get it. Kinda hard to nuke yourself. So, Finn delegates the task to Jake, but Jake doesn't have the discipline and self-control required to operate the magic cannon.
Nope! This is bull juice!
So, instead of following Prismo's instructions, they choose a shortcut. Just steal the Enchiridion. That shortcut leads straight to Ice Finn catching them and freezing regular Finn. Ice Finn has been working with the Lich, and the Lich has convinced him that they can save the world by freezing it. But you know that's all just bull juice. So as soon as the Lich gets all the magic gems he needs to activate the Enchiridion, he double-crosses Ice Finn.
Everywhere you will die.
What?
You, your family, everyone will die.
Ice Finn realizes he's been used and he's about to be destroyed. Luckily for him, he's got plot armor. The grass sword shoots out of a regular Finn's hand and cuts off the Lich's hand. Finn then blasts the Lich with the magic cannon and saves the day, but a small bit of evil is still left in the world because the Lich's severed hand traveled to all the dimensions. Regular Finn and Jake go back to their lives, and Prismo edits Ice Finn's reality so the mutagenic bomb destroys the Ice King's crown in that reality. Ice Finn goes back to his normal life on the farm. Family and all the people that he froze are unfrozen. When we see him years later in the Fiona and Cake spinoff, Farmworld Finn is all grown up with 4 kids. The mutagenic bomb still went off in his world, so the Lich's spirit is lurking around somewhere, but magic is still weak. And now that we know the story of Finn the villain, let's unpack. The biggest question is, of course, why does the Lich have to exist? Finn's one wish was for the Lich to not exist. But after granting that wish, Prismo brought the Lich back into existence anyway with Finn's actions. Jake's wish to counter the Lich's wish didn't destroy the guy. He just kept lurking around, plotting and planning to jazz things up again. Even blasting the Lich with the magic cannon doesn't destroy him because his hand survives and travels to all the dimensions. No matter what Finn and Jake do, the Lich always finds a way to spring back into existence. This is a very conscious choice by the writers. They could just destroy the Lich if they wanted to. I mean, all it takes is to just change a few lines in the script and it's done. But they don't. I kept asking myself, why? Then I asked Google and Reddit and a bunch of dead nerds. The Lich is the very personification of evil. If he is destroyed, nothing bad would ever happen to anybody else ever again. But the writers never let the Lich get destroyed. I was initially annoyed by this, but that was because I didn't understand the genius of what Adventure Time was telling us. The writers can't kill off the Lich just because he is immortal. They can't kill him because it wouldn't make sense. It turns out Marvel movies lied to me. Evil is not some external entity that you can just destroy by summoning the Avengers and pointing. Adventure Time keeps the Lich alive to show that evil doesn't come from anywhere external. It exists inside all of us. The potential for good and evil exists inside the heart of every man, woman, and child. We see this with Finn. When he's placed in the right circumstances, he turns evil pretty quick. And he had very good justifications for his actions every step of the way, sure. First, he robs Marceline of the crown to save the family mule and save his father. Perfectly good reasons. Then, he wears the Ice King's crown to save his family from the fire, an even better reason. Then he freezes Big Destiny's gang for all their crimes. Still, good reasons. Then, he recklessly shoots ice bolts trying to kill a fleeing member of Destiny's gang. A less understandable reason, but I guess still okay-ish? But then, Finn's recklessness sets off the mushroom bomb and releases the spirit of the Lich. From this point onwards, Finn stops doing bad things for the sake of achieving some noble end, and instead does them just for fun. The Lich convinces him that the best way to save everybody is to freeze them all, and Ice Finn just goes along with it because that's what he wanted to do anyway.
The voices. They tell me to freeze the world.
By the time he realizes what he's become, it's too late. Finn started out trying to save his family, and instead ended up freezing it. Without regular Finn and his plot armor, Ice Finn would have destroyed the very thing he tried so hard to protect. And all of it began with a single act: taking the crown. Marceline begged him not to take it, but Finn robbed her anyway. That led to everything else. The Ice King's crown may have taken over Finn's mind and turned him evil, but it didn't just fall out of the sky and onto his head. Finn made a lot of questionable decisions, and they all eventually led to that moment. He thought the ends justified the means, but they don't. At the end of the day, we're judged for our actions, not our hopes or dreams or intentions. Even when you have good intentions like Finn, doing bad things to achieve those good ends is usually not the best choice, because the descent into evil can be very slippery and really quick. It always starts out with one tiny little thing, one small lie, then a second lie to cover up for the first, but then a third, and before you know it, alright, sorry I've said a little too much. But you get what I'm trying to say. One action leads to another, and then another, and then another. Good begets good, and evil begets evil. Realizing this is what shattered my delusion of being a good person. I had to reluctantly admit to myself that I'm not innately good. I'm capable of horrible things. I mean, we all are. And that's why we have to be careful in our self-assessments. You might think you're good, but if that goodness has never been tested, you can't really be sure. When people's goodness is truly tested, they usually fail. When the NSDAP took over Germany, a lot of supposedly good people turned on their Jewish and Gypsy neighbors. They enlisted in the Wehrmacht in the millions and marched east to slaughter Slavs. Others volunteered as guards in the concentration camps and never did anything to stop the horrors happening inside. And when they were asked why, the response was mostly, "I was just following orders." The same thing happened in Stalin's Soviet Union, Mao's China, and East Germany. They were bloody purges, and once the enemies of the revolution had been murdered, the peace was an unsettling one because everybody was snitching on everybody else. These people knew that once you snitched on somebody, he would disappear into a gulag or just get shot. But they were protecting communism, so it was all good. The ends justified the means. In East Germany, 1 in 63 people was an informant for the Stasi. And that's the entire population. If you exclude the children, you're looking at a snitch to regular citizen ratio of around 1 in 30. This is why Adventure Time didn't just kill the Lich. Evil can't be killed. It lurks inside all of us, and we have to fight it every day. The moment we start thinking we're too good to do anything bad, we lose. Every horror in history has been perpetrated by people who thought they were good guys, even when they were doing vile and unspeakable things. Genghis Khan thought he was the good guy. So did the Bolsheviks and the swastika Germans and all the other murderous conquerors of history. Evil has always had an unbelievable ability to rationalize itself. In the current Israel-Palestine conflict, both sides think they're the good guys. So every horrible thing that they do to their enemies is good and justified from their point of view. Finn fell into the same trap with the Ice King's crown. Please don't copy him. If you want to copy something, watch my video on Adventure Time and what they taught me about growing up by clicking right here. And I'll catch you next time.